Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a premium hard question in the database category that I just solved on my own. So I'm super happy about this and I'm very glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance. So let me show you how I did it and let's go over it. This is number 2701, consecutive transactions with increasing amounts. Okay, so basically they want you to record all the session lengths of at least 3, so that's important, at least 3 days that are consecutive and the amounts are increasing. So these two pieces of information are together, and then you want to do that for each customer ID, which may have duplicates because there may be different chunks of 3 or more. So that's what it says here, 3 or more, at least 3 consecutive days. Okay, so basically, let's first create a default dict of type list, and let's use the key as a customer ID, and then these two pieces of information sorting by the transaction date. So for IT and enumerate transactions customer ID, d of t dot appends transaction date of I, and then the amount. Cool. So then we want to sort it by the date. Okay, so now let's loop through each key in the dictionary. Let's call this now, and let's print k and now. Okay, so we sorted by the timestamps, aka the 0th index in each sublist. And now we just want to, so multiple ways to do this. We just want to find the dates that are consecutive and increasing in amounts, and then also at least length 3. So the way I did it was to, let's just go get a sliding window of size 3. So -2 and the current chunk of size 3. Let's go ahead and print that. Let's print k and cur. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and see if this validates, this is in line with all the conditions that are denoted here. So the amounts and the dates. So let's just call these date differences, and also, well, let's just do that. That's fine. And we're just going to append, because this is a size 3, right? So we're just going to get each size 3 and move 1 to the right for each chunk of size 3. So, for example, well, this is already of size 3, so we're just going to add the difference of cur of 1 of 0. This is supposed to be string minus cur 0, 0, because this is supposed to be a datetime object, and then we're supposed to split it to get the actual number of days that are different, and then we have to turn this back into an integer. Okay, so let's call this date diff. We're going to do the same thing, so that's the difference between this and this, and then we're going to do the same thing between this. Can you go away, please? Open raw, I don't want that there. This and this. So int string cur of 2 of 0 minus cur of 1 of 0 dot split 0. Cool. So now, so this minus this and this minus this are both 1. So if date diff is equal to a set of 1 and the amounts are consecutively increasing, so if cur of 0 of 1 is less than cur of 1 of 1 less than cur of 2 of 1, so those are the amounts, right? Then we can say this is a valid chunk. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so looks like, yeah, okay, in that case, because we don't want duplicate dates, right? Because we have 5.1 to 5.3, but then 5.2 to 5.4, so there's this overlap over there. So let's just call this the good dates. And that's for each k, we're just going to say good if for C in current, if C of 0 is not in K, because a whole size 3 chunk, it has to be at least of size 3, is good, then we can go and append it inside of C0 or inside of good and then sort good. So let's print K and good. What the heck is not inside of good? Okay, so now we have exactly what we need, it seems like. So if good, we don't care about empty list. That's why 102 is not inside of there. Inside of, excuse me, this customer ID result column. So, okay, awesome. So now we have what we are looking for. It seems like 501 to 504, 502 to 504. Okay, so let's just go ahead and keep track of all the chunks, but without the overlap that we're still having here. It seems okay. Let's just go ahead and do this. So in this case, we have this good chunk, but we don't want to duplicate 502 here. Thinking of a way to remove that. I'm thinking about just getting this and getting all the valid dates. Okay, so we can do that. So let's just call this valid. I'm going to do this a little differently than I did it the first time, and that's okay. So valid of k dot, well, so for g in good, if g is not in valid k, then valid k dot append g, and then valid k dot sort. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we can actually just print this out here just to keep things clean. Okay, so 501, 502, 503, 504. Okay, cool. So now for v invalid, let's print v valid v. So, okay, now, so we're on the right track. So we can go ahead and get the actual timestamps. So what we're going to do is call this now again, and we're just going to do like a 2-pointer approach, because we're going to keep checking with every other one and saying if it's still like the difference is still just 1, then we can stop, because from here the difference is bigger than 1, so we can stop and we can go here and then move the left pointer here and do the same comparison again. So let's just call this I, while I is less than length of now. For j in range I plus 1 length of now. So as long as the difference, so now j minus now j minus 1. So if int diff is still equal to 1, then we can just say, well, let's just call this current is now of I. Then we can just move I forward, right? Because we already know that this is a difference, and we can also just also append now of j, which is like the other element. If it's the difference is 1, then keep appending. In this case, the difference is still 1, so keep appending, and then the difference is not 1. So otherwise, we can just break. And then at the end, we can say I is max of I plus 1, and then j. Okay, so let's also just print k in current, or v in current. Let's get rid of this. Okay, perfect. So 104 looks like it matches up with the result. So 501, 503, perfect. So now we can just go ahead and gather the results. Answer.append v and cur of 0, cur of -1, because this and the -1 are different. Otherwise, I think we wouldn't have included it, or maybe we would have. It's okay. We'll take care of that edge case later if it comes up. But now let's just sort by, so it looks like the columns are literally in order. So just sort it and then just gather the results. A.append v0, filling each of the columns. Empty data frame. Return it. Results. Customer ID, A, consecutive start, B, consecutive end, C. Another piece of feedback, hopefully Leetcode can start populating these column names so I don't have to manually type every single one every time, just a little bit of a suggestion, but other than that, let's run this and submit it. And there you go, passes all test cases. So again, I'm super happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help and solve it completely on my own. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.